Hey everybody, welcome back to Recovery Junkie. My name is Jason. Today is a very important day for me. Today I received my 90-day chip or key tag. I have been sober for 90 days. That's drug and alcohol free. And hopefully I have plenty more days to go. But I take it one day at a time. So I'm going to continue my story, but before I do that, I would like to come at you with some stats that I found. They're pretty interesting. So in 2015, these stats pertain to my story a little bit. In 2015, overdose deaths pertaining to cocaine, there were 6,784 deaths due to cocaine. 2,565 of those deaths had heroin involved with them. 1,077 had prescription meds in them, and 1,142 of them had fentanyl in them. And this is stats from Box.com, and I'll attach that link as well. It's a very interesting link. They have numerous different facts and stats in them. So some more stats. Drug overdoses kill more people in 2015 than HIV and AIDS in 1995 at its peak. Drug overdoses now kill more people than gun homicides and car crashes combined in 2015, which was 52,404 people. Between 1999 and 2015, more than 560,000 people died from drug overdoses, and that's a death toll larger than the population of Atlanta. So, and that's on the rise. They projected, the stats in 2016, and it was on the rise, and obviously it's still an epidemic. So obviously the awareness needs to be brought up and so on. But continuing my story, I left it off as I was just getting into heroin. I was still doing all the other drugs, cocaine, crack, benzos. Due to the synthetic speedballing with OxyContin and cocaine, I wasn't afraid to do heroin, crack cocaine. So basically, I was down for whatever. I didn't think of the consequences. I thought I was invincible. The drugs made me feel invincible. The feelings, I seen other people doing it, so I thought, what the hell, why can't I do it? That's basically the thought process that I got. And I think it's safe to say that most people get when they're doing drugs. I see this person doing it, why can't I do it? And, it's safe to say that that's the thought process that I had, the thoughts that I had. I want to try it, why not? They say they get a good feeling from it, what the hell? Well, basically, the risk from that, it's a stroke, heart attack, aneurysms, respiratory failure. So basically, I'm just putting a down payment on that. I'm paying for a heart attack. Basically, it's just passive suicide. And not only that, but when I made that video before about the lifestyles of the addict, now looking back, I was put in a crazy situation before where I got shot at, going to get dope. And I was so embarrassed and ashamed, that I never really even told anybody about it because of the fact that I thought that if I told people about it, that they wouldn't come with me, to go get it, or to come with me to go get drugs. I just thought that it wouldn't happen again. So I was telling myself all these irrational thoughts. And I wouldn't see these people again. And basically, from what I remember, because I remember that day perfectly, I had my windows down in the summertime, and you know, it was just, it was crazy. You know, I was driving down the street, and they said, "You're in the wrong neighborhood, white boy." And you know, there's 3 shots that got shot. I don't know how close they were at me. Who knows? But you know, that could have been the end right there. You know, luckily they're a bad shot. But still, that's the lifestyle that I lived. It could have been over just like that. The drugs didn't get me. That lifestyle could have. It didn't matter. I wanted it. I wanted those drugs. I was sick. I didn't care. My life wasn't important. So, at this time, being on that drug, nothing mattered. Nothing mattered. I wouldn't go to family gatherings. I would beg for money. I'd beg family for money. I'd come up with some whack ass stories to get money. So that's another thing too. Like, if people are, if somebody has an addiction and they're coming up with these weird stories like that they need money, like maybe your children or a significant other, loved one, maybe investigate it. Maybe do a little research or something, you know, be like, why are they asking me for money? Why? What's going on here? Why do they keep asking me for money? What's the deal? Why do they need this money? What's going on? If they look like hell and they're asking for money, put 2 and 2 together. If they're hanging around with people that you know do drugs, and these behaviors are adding up, the signs are adding up, don't let that clouded judgment that just because you love this person or you don't want to believe it, just don't let that interfere. Because if it goes too long and then you're like, oh man, you know what? All of a sudden this person's dead. You know what? I did notice them asking me for money. I did notice them looking like shit. I did notice things missing from my house. I did notice money missing from the bank. I did notice paraphernalia around the house. Damn, I could have done something. But July 7th, 2015, so basically I used heroin for maybe almost a year after I got treatment. Yeah, you know, maybe I stopped periodically for maybe a month or so here and there. But it got to the point where, I was sleeping on a buddy's couch, couch for a while, doing the couch surfing shit, and, all that. It just got to the point where I was broke. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So July 7th, 2015, I checked myself into treatment. I detoxed, came to the VA, and went to the substance abuse program that I should have went to the first time. And I remember I was in a rush. Like, I just wanted to complete the program and and get on with my life. And it's 10 minutes. According to the average, somebody just died from an overdose. So please call that person that you know uses, think uses, whatever. Make sure they're still alive. So when I just wanted to get back to my life. You know, I wanted to complete the treatment. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm better. But no, I really wasn't, because I completed the program successfully. I just wanted to get back to school, or I wanted to start school this time. And I did. I completed the program successfully, started school. Actually, got done with the program a couple days early. And, but I have what they call reservations. And what that is basically I thought I could drink. And, you know, maybe drink and drug every once in a while. So when I got out, yeah, I started school, completed a semester successfully, had good grades, worked out, held down a job, was good, you know, it's good. Did a program, was doing my program, very good. But you know what it was? I remember this day perfectly that I relapsed. I was cocky. I was complacent. I was hanging around with old friends. And I was putting myself in risky environments. So I was cocky, complacent, old friends, risky environments. Boom. I started cutting myself off going for meetings. Stopped calling my sponsor. But that happened before. Because I thought I was good. You know, I didn't need that shit anymore. I didn't need to go to meetings. I didn't need to call my sponsor. No. I need that. I need that. That's my lifeline. But, so what happened was, I was hanging out with some friends for a birthday party, and cocaine got busted out. I thought, hey, I could do a line. It's just a line, right? It's just a line. Well, it took me 2 years to walk away from that line. 2 years. 2 years to realize, what the hell am I doing? You know? And no, I didn't use every day during those 2 years, but that line led me to think differently. It led me to believe that, well, if I can do this, I can do that. And then if I can do this, I can do that. Basically, what happened was, I did a line, wanted to feel good, party like everybody else was. Then I wanted a couple beers, and then to kind of come down. So I thought, well, if I did it that time, I can do it again. Then it got habitual, and I didn't like the feeling of the upper, so I needed a downer. And what I mean, I needed a downer, I needed heroin. So when you mess with heroin, you really can't just dabble with heroin. And so I picked up heroin. Next time I did cocaine, and heroin usually lasts, whether it's a couple days or whatever. When I pick it up enough to last a couple days, and will develop a dependency, a physiological dependency, and a psychological dependency. And you're hooked. You're screwed. From there on out. Just takes that little bit. And then you're caught in that cycle. just by that little bit. Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much. You can't dabble with it. It's either you're all in or you're nothing. It's not one of those drugs where you can just be like, yeah, I'll just do a little bit and then no. At least with me. So, yeah, that's that. I relapsed. I remember one of my buddies telling me, dude, you sure you want to do this? You sure you want to do this? And I told him, I actually texted him the other day and I said, thanks, man, you know, for trying to look out for me. But my addiction and my disease got the best of me that day, you know. But, so I went on, and I have detoxed in time. I detoxed once in April of 2016, but I didn't follow up and I didn't go to a treatment, an inpatient treatment. After that, actually, I was working for a landscaping company, and during that period, so this is interesting too because it all depends on who you meet and what their habits are too, because this is how I got into being an intravenous drug user. And when I was working at that landscaping company, that's when I met somebody and they're an IV user, and you know, that's basically how I tried it, and you know, I liked it. And then that's when I tried speedballing that way and mixing heroin and cocaine in a syringe and blasting it that way, you know. So I basically went to everything. I did it all, you know, except for meth. I mean, there's other drugs, you know, that I haven't tried, like peyote and whatever else, but I don't want to try it now. These drugs almost took my life. I don't even want to know what any other drug can do. I'm scared of drugs now. I'm freaking scared. So I became that type of user, and then I went to detox. That's when I went to detox in April of 2016. Then in October of 2016, that's when I overdosed for the second time. And this is a miracle as well that I'm still alive, because I overdosed in my parents' basement, and I remember that day as well. Well, I remember most of it, but you know, I was speedballing, and I was going to go to the doctor that day, and I shot up. For some reason, my mom came downstairs and found me, and by this time when she found me, I was seizing. I was almost dead. By the time the paramedics got there, they had to hit me with so much Narcan, nasally, everything. my kidneys were shutting down. My lungs were, I was aspirating, doing a death rattle. I was freaking done. Spent 3 days in the ICU. You know, and the thing was, you know what I did the day when I got out of the hospital? I used. I went home, because I still had some at home, and I used. Thought I was good. I'm golden. They fixed me up. I'm good to go. Pull me in, coach. What a mess. What a mess. I can't believe that traumatized my mom. That traumatized my family. You know, it's traumatizing just for them to find me like that. Now, I couldn't even imagine them to find me dead. Dead. So, I'm gonna leave it there. But another thing too, I just want to mention. You know, one thing I really hated. I really freaking hated when going to pick up dope is when you would call the dealer and you'd be like, man, I'm right around the corner, and I'll be there in 2 minutes, and you'd be sitting there waiting for freaking 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and you'd be like, dude, where you at? You know, blowing up his phone, and then he get bitched at or whatever, and it's just all this stress and agitation, and then you're sitting there on the side of a road in a crappy neighborhood, and then when the police drive by and they see you in a high traffic neighborhood or high drug traffic neighborhood, and then they pull you over, they mess with you, and then you think you're getting victimized. Well, that's what I thought. It's just like, man, why? What's going on? Why me? Why am I getting messed with? Well, it's because you're in a freaking high drug traffic neighborhood, you know, like, man, I'm glad them days are done. I'm glad, I'm so glad. So glad that I got my mind right. My way of thinking has changed. Because that's what it's all about. Is the way of thinking. The desire is gone. The way of thinking has changed. And so much pain though. So much pain had to come with that. So much pain. I'm grateful that I lived through it. So grateful. And I feel bad for the ones that don't. I feel bad for the families that have to suffer, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. And if you know somebody that needs help, or if you need help yourself, go get it. You know, just get the help, man. Whoever, you can do it. Change is good. But yeah, I'll leave it here. Stay blessed, and thanks for watching.